Frazer.
Ben, how are you?
All right, mate. You?
Yes, recovering from a busy week last week. Yourself?
Yeah. Very satisfying career highlight, I think. That definitely goes into that league table.
Yeah, absolutely. Two biggest ones yet. Amazing. They both went off really, really well. I think the audience in the room loved it. The feedback from attendees and sponsors has been amazing.
Highlight from let's do the business awards first. Highlight from the Thursday.
From the Thursday. I was going to say there's two. There was the loudest cheer in the room went to Jay Sweeney Accountants. Believe it or not, they won Apprentice of the Year for the second year running.
Abbey won.
Abbey won. Yeah, I think that's more about the person myself. I think Thursday, without ruining it, because we'll probably come on to it at the moment, was the first special award we did at the beginning of the evening. I don't know if that's
the Icon Award. Yeah,
Northamptonshire Icon Award.
Very fitting, appropriate, and I thought Courtney spoke incredibly well because he was sort of thrown into the.
What a man!
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got far more experience of speaking to in front of a camera than what you or I have. But
absolutely.
I thought he spoke from the heart. Met his dad, Linford, lovely guy. He must have been, very proud.
Yeah, you talk about proud moments, and to see his son stood there on stage in front of 450 plus people talking and showing his career highlights and how much of an impact he's made to Northampton and Northamptonshire as the county. He must have woke up hella proud.
But what I loved, like he said, his kids, 4 kids have been born here. His mum is born in Northamptonshire, and obviously what the town means to him. And he's still, he didn't go into this much detail, but I imagine he didn't have to retire now, right? So I imagine it's to almost prolong his Saints career.
Yeah,
and
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, he got a good reception as well at the Saints.
Lovely
on
bloke
Sunday.
as well. Lovely bloke. Just spending a bit of time with him beforehand and speaking to him on the evening. He's sort of really grounded, really, really humble bloke. Probably, what does he say? I always went out there to try to do the best that I could do. And he almost played down his talents, which was really humble.
Yeah, I thought the Sustainability Award was really good because I was looking forward to that beforehand because it was obviously quite a competitive one, as was Business of the Year as well, which was won by Manol.
Yeah, Manol. Yeah, I was going to say I think Business of the Year. I was fixed on that because there was some great names in that, and
I'll tell you the other one as well. The VTs. Obviously, I know we watched the VTs, but it's one of those where you watch everything for so many times where you're looking for mistakes, if you like.
Yeah.
The Employer of the Year, Simply Business. That looks a really good place to work.
Well, they won't be there for much longer
because
they're moving
to
Northampton 900.
Of course they are. Yeah, I did know that as well.
Yeah, but they've committed to Northamptonshire.
Yeah, which is great, and because they're a big employer in the town, and when you look at what they've done there, that looks a really good business. Obviously, Highfield won that category. Yeah. But I thought watching all of those finalists, anybody in the room would have gone, do you know what? They've all got wicked cultures within their business as well.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, the culture within a business, but you know how hard it is to put a camera in front of somebody for them to be genuine and be themselves. But yeah, you watched it all, and it's probably most people were looking at it to see who's going to win it, who's going to be the winner on the evening. Judge got a bit of stick.
When Rob Beckett called Andre Randy Man,
Macho Man Randy Savage, brilliant.
I know, but it's like you and for anybody watching this, right, thinking, why did you get somebody that's involved? I think he had to remove himself 3 occasions. Yeah. So you've got the joke in it, and anybody who's watching this go, why did you get him involved? The problem is when you ask your judges to get together, you don't necessarily know that the companies that they might have an involvement with or a conflict of interest are obviously going to make it to the final, and it's such a difficult one. But we did the right thing, and but Andre looked very smart, by the way. Again,
dapper.
But
Rob
Rob gave him a little bit of grief, which obviously is tongue in cheek. But that's the reason behind that.
But it is to go on that part on the judges. We bang on about the independent scoring process, the independent judges, and yes, people are upset that they didn't win or slightly disappointed that they didn't win. But again, that's not us.
Oh yeah, no, I think people know that deep down.
The judges are there.
I think one thing it definitely underlines is how important that entry process is in terms of documenting everything that's asked of you in the judging process or the entry process, but then also the supporting evidence and the facts and the figures. They're not necessarily financial, but depending on the category that you're in, demonstrating in a prompt and professional manner why you should be the winner, why you're going to stand out from the competition, and that isn't necessarily competition within your sector, with the exception of accountancy of the year and legal firm of the year, but in terms of your fellow finalists. And it's great. And when you look back, it was a very competitive award ceremony.
Really competitive.
So fast forward then from there to the Friday. What was your highlight from the Education Awards?
I would say my highlight, and I'm hoping we've got it on camera, and I think we have, was Wootton Park School. They had pom-poms with them.
Yes, they did.
And one award, I think they either set off like a party popper type thing.
Yeah.
And it was just blue and gold, and they were hooping and hollering, and they were living their best life, shall we say. I imagine there was a few sore ahead Saturday morning than there was Friday morning.
There is this Rocco, my little centre half. He's in year R, and it's fingers on lips. What do they say? No, it's
I'm not going to finish.
No, it's not that. Then they do something like this where the teacher goes like that, and it's straight away. Which camera are we looking at, Arthur?
You could look at anyone.
Little were they doing that, the 100-odd people at the bar on Friday night at about 7:00.
5 minutes past 7.
Yeah,
the only time they listened was when I shut the bar.
I know, but listen, they're excited, and it wasn't all of them, of course, but it weren't 5 or 6 either.
No,
I mean, I think somebody said it was like cattling herd.
No, herding cats.
Sorry, herding cats.
Herding cats. Cattling herd.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a brilliant one, that is.
But I think we may well have to put some T's and C's out next year and say, don't start on the Prosecco after registration. Morning registration.
A few of them may not have even made starter.
Well, yeah, I was made aware of 3 people that didn't make the end of the dinner. But having said that, to put that to one side, I think that was the minority of the audience.
Yep.
And we had 450 odd for the Education Awards. Yeah. I thought the way Eamon, like he did with the Milton Keynes Education Awards, the way he sort of didn't let them rush off, engaged with them. I had a question with 1 or 2 of them. I thought was really humbling and really nice to see.
I think there was a lot more competition this year in the Education Awards,
which is natural because it's evolving, and it's getting more and more popular. We've had more entries than ever before, more people attend than ever before. One of the highlights, I thought Ian Price from the Bedford College Group.
Yeah.
When you look at, I think he's 35 years, either 35 or 30. Forgive me if I've got that wrong. It's either one of the two. But when you look at what he's achieved within that college group, and then how that filters into government, that's pretty incredible. And that's on our doorstep. And they've got 8-9 campuses now.
Yep.
And I thought that was a very sort of deserved winner, as were all of them. And Wellingborough School, the lady turned up on behalf of the eco team. Forgive me, I can't remember the lady's name, but she said she'd really like to work with the other 2 schools that are in her category because she could see synergy in what they were trying to do. Yeah. And that's where you look back and you go, this is exactly what we want to do. This is why we do it.
Yeah, it's the difference in that we're trying to make, as little as it is. But yeah, I think Tom Pursglove pulled up on that on the judging day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He struggled with the sustainability award, but said all you 3 of you should work together because it's quite clear that you're making a difference.
I would have liked Tom to have been there on the night.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, so do I.
It's a shame that you couldn't have made it, but all of the judges were able to. Shalom couldn't on the Friday, but obviously Dean did, and
just dealing with the education.
No, I'm for.
Are you in the business?
No, for Education Awards.
Janine,
of course. Sorry, Janine. Janine and Dean were obviously on the Friday and obviously on the Thursday.
It was good sat next to Dean because he had on every award he had the program in front of him going through, and he still said on a couple of them it was so hard when we picked that winner. Yeah, so hard.
And that's just the finalists. That's not the people that made or the schools that made the made to the final. So work now planned in. Well, we've already had our first brainstorm meeting, but work now begins on the 2024.
2024, work on that. Obviously, we will maximise the exposure for all of the finalists, all of the winners.
I'm looking forward to seeing how December's edition comes along, because that'll be a real feel-good edition that sort of celebrates both the business and education communities, but whilst also reflecting on the year. And I like that.
I think as well that we'll have the follow-up to the Food and Drink Awards that are outstanding.
Queen of Food and Drink?
No, the outstanding contribution to Northamptonshire and Queen of Food and Drink.
Rachel
Mallows, yeah, for those that didn't know. But we'll have a celebration on the food and drink industry. We'll have a celebration of the business community, a celebration of the education community, all here in Northamptonshire, highlighting the very best of what we have on offer. So that's it. We start working on it. We start looking at the venue, the numbers, the hosts, plural.
Yeah. I've got a real good idea about that, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah.
You've just come to while you've been out.
Yeah. So it's a little bit quirky. You lot will probably go, no, Ben, and just walk out, but I quite like it.
It's probably going to happen.
It probably will.
We'll obviously, this one's just a quick one, just a quick recap. We'll obviously, the coverage is all online, all over our social. The love on social media at the weekend has been immense.
And thank you to everybody that's entered, sponsored, came along, because we had a lot of people that just came along just to see what it's going to be like.
Yep.
For those that couldn't make it but have shared content or got in touch, I've had a load of text messages from people that couldn't come this year. But I've heard it was great or whatever. Just a heartfelt thank you. All right.
Start planning for next year. I've got another podcast tomorrow down in London, which is going to be an exciting one. And start
Rory Sutherland.
Oh,
I need to. Yeah, I'd really like to meet him. He seems a fascinating character.
I'm looking forward to that. And then we've got a couple of good ones lined up. We'll have a few out before Christmas.
We should do a guess who on that, just to see if people can
guess who the guest's going to be.
Yeah,
we can do that.
All right,
top man.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, Ben.
Bye.
See you in a bit.